base is under attack! Your base is under attack! You've captured the quarry.
Hello guys, I would like today to introduce you a new build variation of the condi mesmer. As you already see, I'm using a signet build, so let's talk briefly about it and how it works. First, weapon it's the same as the meta, sigil the same as the meta, and also with carrion and scavenging rune. Of course, of the rune you can take whatever you like. I stick with the scavenging for the high condi damage and also a little bit for the healing and still life. Trait, Chronomancer the same, illusion the same. The main difference is domination. Instead of inspiration, which give me 2 cleans and more cleans and heal, bigger healing and defender, I'm taking domination. Domination, as you see, this is before. Just by taking this I have vulnerability. So illusion of vulnerability, inflict vulnerability when you interrupt a foe. It has 3 stacks when I'm interrupting, so every time I'm interrupting a foe, also by this one I will put vulnerability, so it's a very nice cover. And this is the reason why I choose rending shatter. So my shatter now put vulnerability, so now it's 3 condition, 4 condition, 3 condition, 3 condition. So it's a little bit harder to cleanse those 3 condition, especially if you're using Cry of Frustration, because now it will be 4 condition to cleanse. And dazzling foe, also dazzling apply vulnerability. So now when I put the daze, and especially if I have 3 illusion out, it will be 15 stacks of vulnerability. And if I manage to interrupt, it depends on the time I interrupt it, just one time it will be 18 stacks. So with 18 stacks and then 3 illusion will come out again, I will put the F2 or the F1, it depends. I can put another 3 stacks of vulnerability, so just with F3, F1, if they hit, it will be 21 stacks of vulnerability. But usually we can get about 25 stacks of vulnerability if you manage to interrupt the foe. Next, because I'm using the signet, it's blur inscription. Blur inscription mainly reduce the reach out by 20%, which is good, and also put distortion. And because I'm using master of fragmentation, which distortion give reflect projectile, so I get also 1 second of reflection, which is also very nice versus range class or just projectile out there. Fragility, it's buff your damage based on the vulnerability stacks on my enemy, so more direct damage. And last one, Melted Anguish, my shatter skill deal more damage, 15 to 30%, so F3 combined with F1 with 3 illusion out will do 30% more damage because it will be daze. So it's very nice to use the F1. If you like it, you can take the confounding suggestion, and when you daze a foe, it's a stun with a 5 seconds cooldown, and then you can use the F1 to guarantee you won't dodge or something. So it depends whatever you like. But you will have less stacks of vulnerability, so more easy to cleanse your condition. For the signet of the ether, basically taken because it refresh my phantasm. Warlock phantasm, if you just put these 4 conditions, will do 40% more damage. If you put the Storm upon, it will do about 3 or 2 more condition, so it can be 70% more damage. So even if it won't crit, it can do about 3 to 4k damage, which is not crit damage. And also it gets recharged by the signet. If you use the signet combined with the echo of memory, you can have channeled the blocking further away to about 6 seconds, which is very nice. And also because using the persistent of memory, so it recharge it by 6 seconds. With Signet of the Midnight, it gives you the blind, cripple and vulnerability. It's a break stun, so let's say you want to secure your Moa, you want to secure the healing, you want to secure the Signet of Illusion, so you can use it and use it again. Because it gives you distortion for a brief time, so you can use it and then the healing. So it will be much harder to interrupt the healing or much harder to interrupt your Signet of Illusion. And the last one, Signet of Illusion and Humility, is the basics. So how it works, just the F2, as you see, when I swap another 2, when I use this. So as you saw, just with F2 and swap, I covered the enemy with the 5 to 6 condition, which is very nice. And also remember the Signet of Midnight, it's an AoE with 360 radius, so it blinds all the enemy around you. Let's say I'm standing here, blind, blind, okay. Remember it. So when your ally is ready to burst, you can basically use the immobilize on the target and then this, and use it to buff it with 25 stacks of vulnerability, so your ally will do more damage, also you. I'm gonna fight. So this is the idea of this build. Why to use it and not the meta? As for now, the meta is much safer. You have less condi class to fight against, only the mesmer and maybe the warrior, and that's it. So the necro is basically out because the Ellie is out of the meta. But even also if you see one, just stay at range and kite it, use the cleanse and mainly the block. If you see him on his form, you have the blur, you have also the distortion, you have especially the Moa to use against the necro, so you can basically be safe versus a necro. But even if not, you can just disengage freely with the distortion and the blink and the healing and the block. So this build, as you saw, give more damage, much more damage, direct and condi damage. You have 25% more damage. You can secure the 25 if you want to be offensive play, just with the F2, F3 and then the Signet of Midnight, it gives 10. This will give another 3, another 3, so it's 16 if you have managed to daze, another 5 if you manage to interrupt, another 3. So it pretty much can get the 25 stacks of vulnerability. It's very nice to play it this way. Hope you like this tutorial. Tell me what you think about it, and see you later, guys.